Hey, third graders. So today we are going to compare fractions again. I promise this is the last time, the last lesson in fractions that we have. The next one we have is like a little test, but it's not really a test. I'm not going to look at it as a test. But here is what you've got to do today. So we're comparing fractions. On one slide, there are 4 questions. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it says in the directions, compare the fractions below using the symbols less than, greater than, and equal to. So when you're looking at number 1, you're going to compare this circle with this circle. And I see here, this is 3/4 of the circle is shaded yellow, and this circle is 1/4 of the circle is shaded yellow. So I'm going to use the greater than symbol. I'm going to drag it from over on the right hand side, and I'm going to bring it over here. So then this would be read 3/4 is greater than 1/4. And that's that one. But you're not done yet. You still have 3 other problems to solve. So again, here you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Both of our circles are divided into fifths. Here we have 2/5 of the fraction is shaded. Here we have 3/5 of the fraction is shaded. So in this case, 3/5 is greater. So I'm going to grab the greater than symbol and bring it on up, drag it on up. And you would read this slide as 2/5 is less than 3/5. But you're not done yet. So you still need to do the number 3. So here, this one is divided into 6. Here we have 3/6, and here we have 5/6. I can see that 5/6 is much larger. So I'm going to use this symbol right here in my little alligator mouth to make sure that it's eating the 5/6. But you would still read it from left to right. So you would say 3/6 is less than 5/6. And then we're going to go ahead and solve this last problem, number 4 here. Here I have 2/4 and 2/4. Well, they look different, yes, but they're actually the same. So we're going to use the equal sign. And the way that you would read this sentence or this problem is you would say 2/4 is equal to 2/4. They are equivalent. Okay, so you have 4 problems per slide on these types of slides. Going to slide number 3, is the same thing. So you're going to do the same thing for slide number 3. Now, slide number 4 looks a little different. It says, use the models to order the fractions. So over here, you have to drag the fractions. So at this point, you need to see, okay, which one, and it says order the fractions from least, that means the smallest, to the greatest, which means the biggest. So I can see if I'm looking just at these shaded parts right here, this one, this blue shaded part looks the smallest to me. So this is 1/6. So I'm going to take 1/6, and it's the smallest fraction. I'm going to put it right here. All right, and then I'm going to compare these next 2 models here. Is the yellow section or is the red section a little bit bigger, but not the greatest? So here I can see that 2/8 is going to come next. It's bigger than 1/6, but it's not quite as big as it's not as big as 1/2. So I'm going to move that one over here. And then the 2/4 right here, that's the largest fraction. So then the way that you would read something like this is you would say 1/6 is less than 2/8 is less than 2/4. And you would read it from left to right, just like you're reading a book. And that's how you do it. Okay, so you're going to do the same thing for slides 5 and slides 6, 7, 8, 9 looks a little different. Here it looks kind of similar to what slide number 1 looks like, except there's no models. So when you look at question number 1, so there's 4 questions per slide here, but just look at question number 1 right now. So it says 2/6 and 5/6. So when you're thinking about this, what's nice is that the denominators are the same. You're dealing with one pizza that's divided into 6, and you're thinking of another pizza that's also divided into 6. Which one is bigger? Which one is smaller? So I know that 5/6, I'm going to get a bigger portion if I look at 5/6, and I'm going to get a smaller portion if I look at 2/6. So I'm going to use my 2/6 symbol here and read it. 2/6 is, oh no, this is not right. That's not right. I need this one. Sorry, you guys. Your alligator here needs to be eating the bigger fraction. So it's going to say 2/6 is less than 5/6. Okay. All right. Let's look at number 2. So here I'm trying to compare 2/3 and 1/3. We don't have any models to look at, so you kind of have to just make these models, either draw a picture on a piece of scratch paper, draw a circle and draw thirds, draw circles and make them both into thirds, draw 2/3 on one and 1/3 on the other, and then you can kind of compare. I know that 2/3 is going to be more than 1/3. If I was thinking of a cookie or a cake, I'm going to want 2 pieces of that cake than the 1 piece. And I can do this because the denominators are the same. So I'm going to use the greater than symbol right here, and I'm going to read it. 2/3 is greater than 1/3. All right, let's look at question number 3. So here I'm looking at 3/5 compared to 1/5. I notice the denominators are the same, so I kind of just need to look at the numerators here. 3 pieces out of the 5 is going to be greater than 1 piece out of the 5. So I'm going to grab one of these greater than symbols and I'm going to place it right here. And I'm going to read the equation. 3/5 is greater than 1/5. All right, last question, you guys. Number 4. So it says 4/8 and 7/8, and we're going to compare them. I notice that the denominators are the same here. So I'm really just going to kind of focus on the numerators. You can do this if the denominators are the same. So do I want 4 pieces or do I want 7 pieces? Well, if I'm really hungry, I might want 7 pieces of that pizza. So 4 is going to be less than the 7. So I'm going to grab my less than symbol. I'm going to drag it on over here. And the way you would read this would be 4/8 is less than 7/8. Okay, so I know it's one slide, but there are 4 questions per slide. It's kind of a lot. Just do the best you can, okay? All right, so you're going to do the same thing for slide 10, and then slide 11 is the last one that you guys see that will look a little differently. So here it says, which spy, and here are spies over here in the right, found the most clues. Move the points to the number line to compare the fractions. So right here I can see this cute little redhead. She found 3/4 of the clues. Now this first number line is not it is divided into fourths, so that works. So the third, so I can use this one. So this would be 0, 1/4, 2/4. This would be 3/4. Okay. Here, my little guy in the sunglasses, he found 2/3 of the clues. So I'm going to take this dot. Here would be 0. Here's 1/3. Here's 2/3. Okay. And my cute little girl at the bottom here with the sunglasses, she found 4/5 of the clues. So I'm going to take this yellow dot and I'm going to find where 4/5 would be. Here's 0. Here would be 1/5, 2/5, 3/5, 4/5. Okay, now looking really, really closely, it could be, I mean, obviously our little number 2 guy is not in the running. He's definitely less. But let's look at our first girl and our last girl. Can you guys tell me who found more clues? Did the little redhead girl or the little blonde girl? Did she find more clues? Hopefully you guys are saying the little blonde girl found more clues. You can see really closely here. If you look real closely, she is ahead. So we're going to say spy number 3. And so you would click into that box, put the number 3, and you are all good. Okay. So make sure you move those dots so I can clearly see it, and then you answer the question right there. But that's what you're going to do for number 12, slide 12, and slide 13. All right. So that's what I've got for you guys today. This is our last lesson on fractions. Next week, we'll take just a quick it's like a little quiz. I wouldn't call it a test, but I just want to see if what we've been doing online so far has stuck or if you guys are understanding it. Don't worry about how you do. But yeah, this is kind of our last fraction quiz. So I hope you guys enjoyed fractions. I know they're kind of difficult, but you guys did awesome. And I'll talk to you later.